I died on the subway last Tuesday, but nobody told me, and I still don't know which of my friends killed me. My name is James, and this is the worst day of my life. Or I guess it's the last day of my life. I'm still trying to figure out what happened. It was a normal Tuesday evening. I was coming home from work on the subway at around 8 p.m. The train was crowded at first, but as it moved through the tunnels, people got off at each stop until there were only a few of us left. There was an old man reading a newspaper, a woman with a red bag, and my best friend Marcus, who worked in my building. I waved at him. He didn't wave back. He just stared at me with this empty expression on his face. "Marcus, amen. Didn't know you took this train," I said, walking toward him. He turned away quickly and moved to the other end of the car. I thought it was weird, but I didn't think much of it. Then the doors closed at the next stop, but the train didn't move. We just sat there in the darkness of the tunnel. The lights flickered. Everyone looked uncomfortable. That's when I heard the screaming. It came from the front of the train, from the driver's cabin. The sound so loud and so painful that everyone stood up in panic. The woman with the red bag started crying. The old man dropped his newspaper. But Marcus just sat there calmly. "Ismaila, that. Me, what's happening?" I asked. "You're happening," he said. "You're finally understanding." I didn't know what he meant. The train suddenly lurched forward with violent speed. People grabbed onto the railings. I fell down hard onto the metal floor. When I looked up, I saw something that made my blood freeze. Everyone on the train looked exactly the same. Their faces were blank. Their eyes were all staring directly at me. Even the old man, even the woman in the red bag. They all stood up at the same time, in perfect synchronization, and started walking toward me. "Stay away," I screamed, backing up against the wall. But they kept coming, and as they got closer, I noticed something terrible. They weren't breathing. Their chests weren't moving. It was like looking at statues that had learned how to walk. I ran to the other end of the train car. I pounded on the emergency door, trying to break through to the next car. Behind me, I could hear the sound of their footsteps. They moved like machines, like all their joints were broken. Then the train stopped. Suddenly, the lights went out, completely poor darkness. I could only hear their footsteps getting closer. ... Closer ... closer. I felt hands grab me from behind. Cold hands. 2 cold, dead hands. I tried to scream, but something covered my mouth. I remember fighting. I remember the feeling of being pulled down to the floor. I remember a pin sharp, terrible pin tearing through my chest. And then ... Nothing. When I woke up, I was still on the train, but everything was different now. I looked down at my hands. I could see through them. Not completely, but like I was made of glass, and my clothes there was blood all over them. My blood. What happened to me? I whispered. "You finally understand now," a voice said. I turned around. It was Marcus, but now he looked different too. Transparent. Dead. "Marcus, are you dead too?" "We all are," he said, pointing around the train car. Everyone was still there, but now I could see through them too. The old man, the woman with the red bag, all ghosts, all dead. "How? Why?" I asked, panic rising in my throat. "Because you don't remember," Marcus said, his voice filled with sadness. "You don't remember what you did to us. I don't know you people. I only know you, Marcus. You're my friend." "I know," he said. "I was your friend until you got drunk that night 6 months ago. Until you got behind the wheel of your car. Until you drove up onto the sidewalk where we were waiting for the bus." My heart stopped. I remembered now. Bits and pieces. The screaming, the crash, the sirens. They told me it was an accident. They said nobody died. They said I was lucky. Elith, you killed us, James, the woman with the red bag said, her voice like an echo. And nobody ever knew. There were no witnesses, no cameras, Your car was found abandoned 10 blocks away, and you went home like nothing happened. I didn't mean to, I cried. I was drunk. I didn't know. Now you know, Marcus said, and now you're here with us, on this train that never stops, in this tunnel that never ends, with the people you murdered. I looked around at their faces. I started to remember them now. A girl with a red bag who used to get coffee at the place near my office. An old man I'd seen on the news about a bus accident. Other faces. Faces I'd tried to forget. How long do we stay here? Primera. Hasket. Forever. They all said at once, their voices overlapping like a chorus of the dead. The train suddenly started moving again. Faster and faster. Deeper into the tunnel. But I noticed something. There was a new passenger getting on at each stop. A young girl. A businessman. More people joining the ghost train. Are they? Primera. Ask it. New arrivals. Marcus nodded. People who ran away from their crimes. People who thought nobody was watching. People like you. One of the new passengers looked at me with terrified eyes, and I realized with horror what was about to happen. What was happening to her. What had happened to me. She was dead now, and she didn't even know it yet. If you just had an accident, ... If nobody saw, if nobody knows, ... Don't go home yet. Look around. Really look around. Because if everyone looks the same and nobody's breathing, you're already here. You're already on the train, and the tunnel never ends.